Okay, we're going to look at another method of selecting the game that you want to watch. What we saw before was a team page for Ohio State showing their entire season, and week by week you could choose which game you wanted to see. In a lot of ways, this is more realistic for production type use of this application. It shows the top 25 teams week by week as you go through the season. Um, and typically, we're all pretty local in what we watch. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I see Ohio State on Saturday, and then if I if I have the patience, I'll watch another game in the 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, 7:30 slot. Um, but there's a lot of stuff that I just don't see, and I've really gotten interested in teams in other conferences besides the Big Ten from working on this project. So in this we see all the top ranked teams, and I have this set up so that I have a way of judging whether it's a game that I want to see, and this is very subjective. I'm not particularly interested in something like this Clemson Kent State game, although Kent State is a team that I watch. Watching Clemson beat them 56-3 is it might have been an interesting game, but I doubt it. Um, so what I try to do is I try to find the games that are close. Final score is within 10 points. Games that went to overtime, because that clearly indicates that it was a pretty competitive game. And then I always look for upsets. When a lower ranked team beats a higher ranked team. Um, so using those three points for judging games, my recommendation is for this Louisville-Purdue game, the Virginia Tech West Virginia game, Tennessee Georgia Tech, and Texas and Maryland. This Texas Maryland was a real surprise. 51-41, unranked Maryland beats Texas, 23rd ranked. So as we step through this, I have this table set up for every week in the 2017 season. I'll go through every week here, so you can play and pause this to check my recommendations on each week if you're interested in that sort of thing. But generally, what I found was that there are somewhere between 18 and 22, something like that, games every week that involve the top 25, and they're usually like a third of them meet my criteria for a recommendation, and sometimes they're half. But especially early in the season, there are a lot of unranked teams that are playing the ranked teams. So there are a lot of really lopsided scores. So there may not be that many good games to watch. But you can kind of, just doing a quick look here, you can see that as we go on in the season, there are more games that are worth taking a look at. So the idea here really is that if you watch just on Saturday, you make your choice of the one or two games that you want to watch, and you might get lucky and you might see good games, but maybe not. But if you're gonna watch recorded games anyway, it's kind of nice to be able to have a way of watching those games that gives you more control over how you watch. So that's what this is intended to provide, a way of finding the good games that you would like to see, and then giving you, advanced tools for watching those games when you do choose the games that you want to see. Now, the way that this is intended to work is that when you click on the row in the table, it'll pop up that game. I don't have all of these things coded for the 2017 season. I do have Ohio State coded for the 2017 season. So if I click on Georgia, Tennessee, nothing happens. Wisconsin, Northwestern, nothing happens. But if I click on Ohio State, Rutgers, it goes right to that game. And now we
in the shadow of the Empire State Building is where you'll find
we launched that game with the scores showing. But now if you didn't want to know the scores before you choose your game, you can click that box there and turn the scores off, and then when you launch that game, it'll launch with the game in play blind mode. So the play information and the series information will not appear.
In the shadow of the Empire State Building is where you'll find the birthplace of college football, Rutgers, and tonight, BTN football.
And that's it.